Well, it's Christmas come a little bit early for South Dakota football and other football programs across the country, but head coach of the USD Coyotes, Bob Nielson, joining me now. And Bob, signing day is always exciting, heartbreaking. There's a lot of ways to describe it, isn't there?
Well, it's always an exciting day. You know, you identify, work with, and now get commitments out of a great group of young men that are going to be a part of the future of our program.
Yeah, can you talk about some of the things? There's always priorities with this, I know, and you identify those based on the way things work throughout the previous season, and also in terms of depth. I know that's a pretty important part of that decision-making process and all that. So what were the things that you really focused on in this particular cycle?
Well, two things really. One is continuing to build depth in the offensive line, an area that we're not where we need to be in terms of numbers, and so we've got a number of the group in this early signee class that fit into that category, and then athleticism on defense. We felt like it's a class that needs to have an emphasis on finding some guys that are really good athletes that could continue to grow and develop to fill spots for us defensively. And I think we addressed both of those areas with this first group that we signed early.
Yeah, you mentioned first group, and this is the second year where you've had the opportunity to have an early signing period. How close are you to being full at this point, and do you feel good about where you stand after this first period's concluded?
Yeah, very similar to last year. We signed the majority of what will be our incoming class here through the early date. We've got some additional work to do as we fill some of the areas that we didn't get addressed in the early class on the February signing date. But I think as with most programs at our level, the early signing date creates an opportunity for you to really get not just a great jump start, but to get the majority of your class locked in, and then focus on your remaining needs for the remainder of the recruiting period.
Yeah, can you talk about what that process will be like over these next several weeks until you hit that February date where you finalize that 2019 class?
Well, it's the NCAA calendar, recruiting calendar is kind of interesting. Now we go into a dead period until the 10th of January, and so we're not allowed to be out on the road. Student athletes can't come visit, so it gives you a chance to regroup a little bit as a staff and to refocus your efforts, to take a little time off. I think it also gives student athletes an opportunity for them to enjoy their holidays with family, and then we'll be traveling again in January, as well as bringing young men to campus in January to fill the class.
All right, well, good luck the rest of the way. Congrats on the class to this point, and we certainly look forward to seeing these guys put on a Coyote uniform for the first time next fall.
Thanks, Jay. Appreciate it.